So when a person's smell is constricted, he is left out of a lot of very important experiences in life. Those that are positive, those that can protect him from things that are negative. It's even more so when a person's mind and a person's heart is constricted and limited. The Torah tells us that you should serve God with joy and with happiness all the time. That means it's a very important ingredient. It gives us an opening of the mind and an opening of the heart. When a person does not have joy, does not have happiness, so then he's constricted in his mind. That means he is limited in his thinking capacity. He's constricted in his heart, in his emotions. That means he is limited in his experience of his emotions. And then that means that he's not working on a full throttle. If your nose, if you have a sinus problem and you can't, your nose is not working well, so then you are losing out on a lot of experiences around you. The smell of the food, which adds to the taste of the food, uh, the smell of your surroundings, which could be pleasant and which could be sometimes dangerous, right? So you're missing out on a lot of very important elements of life. By the way, I'm giving you an example related to smell very intentionally because smell of the five senses is most related to the soul. And I want to say another introduction before I go further. I'm going to be touching upon a lot of subjects tonight because it's just an introduction to the many different webinars and sessions that I intend to give to you in the future. And so I just wanted you to get a taste of the many different areas and possibilities that are there for you to tap into to experience more joy, more happiness, and a more abounded way of living. So we're going to touch upon a lot of different subjects tonight. So when I'm giving you an example that is related to sinuses and smell, that's very intentional because smell is very much connected, even in science. They haven't yet figured out, the nose can pick up, I think it's a million or an incredible amount of different types of scents. I mean, it's almost like an infinite capability of the body to be able to distinguish between so many different types of scents. We don't even know how it actually works. How exactly does the scent connect itself in the nose? And then we are able to make those distinguishing identities between one scent and the other and the way it's interpreted by the mind. And then it affects very much the soul and our consciousness, right? When somebody faints, we wake them up with very deep smelling salts. So when a person's smell is constricted, he is left out of a lot of very important experiences in life. Those that are positive, those that can protect him from things that are negative. It's even more so when a person's mind and a person's heart is constricted and limited. They are losing out on some very important experiences that can help enhance life and can help protect from areas that are dangerous in life. That's when a person's mind and when a person's heart is limited. You won't be able to have the right intuitions. You won't be able to have the right insights into judgment and to things of that sort. And one of the key ingredients for the broadest experience of thinking and of experiencing life is joy and happiness. And unfortunately, there's a large percentage, depending on how you define a lack of joy and happiness, down to depression and crazy other thoughts that make a person's life hopeless. And it's never hopeless. Life is never hopeless. There's always hope. And that's what we're going to talk about because there's always God and there's always the potential that is in a person to overcome and to continue marching along the path of life. So a very important ingredient is joy and happiness, and that's what the subject is tonight. And I've already touched upon many different very important thoughts related to joy and happiness, right? It says when the prophet wanted to prophesy, he got his helper to play on the musical instrument and it lightened them up and it made them joyous and happy. That's the way it's described in the book of the prophets. And then the Spirit of God rested upon the prophet. So, number one, we see the importance of music. And of course, like everything else we talk about, Everything in this world has, like in science itself, matter and antimatter, positive and negative. There are these two extreme opposing forces in every area of life, love and hatred, right? So there's always happiness and unhappiness. And King Solomon, he points them out in his 14 descriptions of a time to live and a time to die, a time to be happy and a time not to be happy, right? 14 and corresponding to another 14, which is 28 in total. So it's very, very powerful, and it's very, very important that a person should listen to the right kind of music, because the right type of music is the right kind of vibrations. That's what music is, right? It's vibration through the air that hits a person's eardrums, and then it goes through these little bones in the ear canal, and then it vibrates its way into the person's brain, and it does a different job than when you're just talking to a person. Somehow it's on a higher and on a deeper vibration music. And so you want to listen to the right kind of music, and that type of music puts a person in the right frame of mind and the right kind of emotions, and then he's open to the presence of God. Just like the Torah says, strength and joy is in the presence of God. In the presence of God, you have to be joyous, and then you will be strong, and it all goes together. Joy, God, strength, all of that goes together. And so that's what we're talking about tonight. We're talking about how can we tap in to something which is very important, a very important ingredient to be able to experience more of life, and that's joy. Music is one such way to bring out and to sort of say, wake up the joy that is within the person. Because the truth is, joy is our natural identity. Look at children; they're always happy and joyous, unless they all of a sudden feel there's a kind of a need. So then it interrupts the joy for a moment. But once they get the need addressed, they're fed. All of a sudden, they're joyous and they're happy. And all of a sudden, we grow up, and unfortunately, for many of us, it becomes hidden and covered. And so, really, joy and happiness is our real identity, because we all have a portion of God within ourselves, and God is joyous, God is happy, God is broad, and God is not constricted and limited. He's actually infinite. And infinity and a wide and broad possibility only can come when a person is joyous and when a person is happy. So it's so important to try to focus and to try to make sure that we are in a joyous and in a happy mood.